Hi guys, and welcome to the Daily Bread video covering yesterday's price action. Now, as you know, we've been coming down into this 4-hour order block and still been respecting it. But at the moment, all we're doing, especially if you're trading the higher time frames, we are just in this box at the minute, which we are distributing or accumulating. We're just playing around in this box. We do have CPI data today, Wednesday, which could be what we're waiting for. So we could just play around in this box for the next couple of days. Once CPI data comes out, then we'll probably make its move to either the upside or the downside. So while we're in this box, especially if you're trading the higher time frames, it's best to stay out of any trades and wait for the move, wait for the new trend, wait to see if we break out to this box on the upside and then come and start forming a trend, or if we say we come up here like this, break to the downside, and then start carry on the bearish structure. So at the moment, there has been a couple of plays just with liquidity wipes and things like that inside the box on the lower time frames. So I'm just going to run through them. But other than that, we are, like I say, we're still in this distribution box. Now, if we just mark out this level here, this was yesterday's high. So we can just call that previous daily high. We've also got the previous daily low down here, which is also the Asian session low. So let's call that previous daily low and Asian session low. We do have the Asian session high just here. Let's call this Asian session high. What is interesting is this previous daily high. Obviously, we've still got this Asian session high also intact. We did take out this London high, and we've still got a New York high here. So if we was to come up and run this previous daily high, we've also taken out quite a bit of liquidity, and I think we've got a nice block still left just here. With just still a little bit of IPA. We have come up and filled a little bit of it, but we didn't quite ever make it into this 15-minute block. We can just call that our 15-minute block. Let's just leave that on there as well. So yeah, we do know that obviously just below this we've got some session highs, previous daily high, 15-minute, and then we've got the daily highs and the Asian session high here. So we now can just take that rangefinder off just to make the charts a little bit cleaner. Let's just jump down to the 5-minute and see what happens down here. I think we do end up running. We don't take the Asian session low or the previous daily low, which I was kind of hoping for. So yesterday morning, we're now on Frankfurt. So I was kind of hoping maybe for a Frankfurt run of these lows, taking out the Asian session low, taking out the previous daily low. Sorry, this isn't the previous daily low. This is the Asian session low, and the previous daily low was at this point here. So we have already taken the previous daily low. So there is reason for it to move up. I was hoping maybe to take out this Asian session low. But as we can see, as we play price action through, we do decide just to move up. So there wasn't really an entry here for me yesterday morning. We do then push up, just take out the Asian session high. But if we jump down to the lower time frame, we didn't really give our entry drill. We pushed up, we come down. We probably could have said, took out a bit of a low here. So maybe some early sellers here, pushed up again, broke a little bit of structure, maybe some more early sellers here, but once we come down to this level and created sort of our equal lows, we didn't really push back up and fill this void, or come up into an order block, maybe even this high here. If we'd come back up into this level, which is also the same level as these early sellers here, I would have probably looked for a sell from this point. But I don't know if we don't actually come back up into this level. So now that we've broken this structure to the downside, we've now come down and sort of respected a block here, and we are starting to form some sort of bullish structure. So there was no sell here for me as we come back out of my end of my session times. So if we had now come down and created some equal lows or broke structure to the downside, then we might be able to look for another entry. But again, we're just kind of respecting that bullish structure. And then if we just speed this up a little tad, just so we can see. So now we're out of my session time. We're into London. And I would now be waiting for New York. So now as New York comes, we do start making these equal highs. We've now got this London high. Let's just put that London high in and turn off our rangefinder. So coming into sort of 12 o'clock, we are sort of have created this liquidity to the upside. We did, like I say, we did pip out this Asian session high here, but we didn't really give it a clean white. We've also got this London high still intact, and I would like to see maybe the run of this. I'm not sure what we've still got left over here, where we had this big spike up the other day. So we could maybe potentially look into here. Also, just here, we've got this 2-minute block just there. We had a little bit of IPA. No, I think we're good. So maybe up into this level. So now coming into New York, what would be nice, obviously, we're still in this overall bearish structure. So shorts are still what I'm favoring at the moment. We are starting to form a bit of a bullish structure. We are starting to break down a little bit, maybe created some equal bottoms just here. So we could set this as a future target with some relatively equal lows. So now if we do pop up, take this out, we've now got a target. So as we play through, we've now popped up. Let's just jump down to the 1 minute. We've now pumped up, dropped into that 2 minute, taken out this London, given a proper sweep of the Asian session high. So now we start to wait for our entry drill. Now we push down. We've now created some more relatively equal lows. So now we are starting to create some liquidity to the downside as well to target. We're going to have this liquidity to target, this liquidity to target. And if we was looking to hold longer term, we do have the Asian session low. But it's also important to remember that while we are in this big distribution box waiting for the news, then we do need to remember that we need to get and take our profits as soon as possible and get to risk free, because while we're playing around in this box, we're building liquidity. We're looking to take out early buyers, early sellers, induce buyers and induce sellers. So it's important to remember that if you are playing around in this box, to get your profits off the table, you can leave a peanut running, leave 10%, leave 20% running, and get risk free. So now we've obviously taken up this liquidity. We are still looking for sells. So just off this level here, we've come down, we created some more equal lows, we come back up and tested more equal lows and then pushed down. So this was our last point. So let's just mark this out as our supply and demand zone. We've also got IPA, and we've also wiped out all this liquidity above here, tapped into our zone of this last big spike where we pushed down aggressively from. So we're going to have some orders left in there. So this is a good level now to short from. So now if we play this through, we come up, and this is what we like to see. We don't want this to see aggressive push up, say like 1, 2, 3, or even 4 candles, just sort of push straight up. We want to see it slowly trickle back to this zone, because that means what's happening now is the buyers are trying to push them back up into this level so they can get rid of their buys and then enter their sells. But obviously people are trying to sell off early. So all this is creating is more liquidity here on these early buyers, sorry, early sellers. So this is what we like to see. So now we've come up here, We've had a little bit of a push down. So all of these sellers now think, oh, yes, this is going nicely. But all we did actually is we was creating liquidity to the upside, liquidity to the downside, took the people that was trying to buy from here in this bullish structure, sort of took them out, grabbed the liquidity, pushed to the upside, took out now all these sellers that was selling here. Now we've taken them out. So now we've taken out the early buyers and the early sellers, pushed back up into our level. So now we can put our short position just on here, just up above maybe these highs here. Target are 1 to 5. So our 1 to 5, just below these equal lows here as well. So this is an absolute perfect target. Obviously, we do have these equal lows down here. So what I would do is probably take off 80% here, like I do every time, move my stop loss to entry and see how we go. So bang on 1 to 5, say there. And now, if you didn't get in here off this one, as we started to break down, there was probably a re-entry back in here before coming back down, but this was probably the best entry. And then we start breaking down, and then we've hit our 1 to 5, taken our things, cleared some liquidity. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to jump to the 5-minute just to speed things up a little bit, so we're not here all day. And as you can see, we come back down. We just take out these equal lows just here, but also kind of create a bit more of equal lows. So this here would be a good target for the future. But we've also got this unmitigated wick for the future. This one here, just below here, we come back down, push, come back down, but didn't quite come back into this wick. So this wick here is a good area to maybe target once we've cleared out these equal lows just down here. So we're now running at a 1 to 10. Obviously, we've taken off 80%, so we've got 20% running to here. Now we've come down and created these equal lows. We can either see if they're taken out, or we could even remove some more, or we could let it run if we think we're going to come down to this level. This level would probably be my ideal level. So maybe I would have taken off 10% here and left another 10% running. Like I said, I didn't take this trade yesterday because I was sorting my son out yesterday afternoon, so I didn't actually take this trade, but it's always still good to run over yesterday's price action and show you all the potential entries. So then we did come back up. So now we have sort of respected this bullish trend. We've still left all this target and this liquidity down the bottom. But now what we've done is we've come back up and we've taken that previous daily high and we've tapped into that 15-minute block that we talked about earlier. Now, this is 5 o'clock yesterday, so it's out of my session times. I only really trade till sort of 4 o'clock for New York. So it's out of my session times, but I'm just going to play the price action through just so we can have a little look. Right, so now we have created some liquidity up here with these equal highs. People selling off early doors, some equal highs. We've now wiped that liquidity and we've pushed to the downside. We did have these relatively equal lows here, which we've now broken. And we are trending to the downside now. So now we had these equal lows here, we broke these, we come back up into this level here. Oh. Come back up into this level here. Obviously, yeah, this is where we had the push. We come back up into this level, and then this is where we broke structure from and pushed to the downside, starting to form a new trend. Come back up into this level. So you could have placed a sell here. Obviously, like I say, it's outside of my, right, it's just above here. And then we're moving to the downside. Like I said, this is outside my session times, but I'm just going to show you the entries. Say that this was at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or even 1 o'clock on New York Open, or even if this was an Asian session high and this was the wipe of that liquidity, it's still good to show you the entries. So then as we come down, let's just jump this over to 5 minutes just so we can play through. But we do then aggressively move to the downside. All the way down here so far for a 1 to 20. Now, we've also now created more, not quite yet, but we've still got these equal lows down here and we've still got our zone down here. We are coming into the end of the day at 10 o'clock. But let's just quickly run this through and see where we come up to, leading into today's session at 6 o'clock. We sort of kind of hang around during the Asian session. Now we are still creating more equal lows, some more great liquidity to be taken. We now come down. I think we near enough tap into this block. Let's have a look. So if we do this whole 5 minute like this, we then come down, tap into that block, clear that liquidity, and then we are at today's session. So we're at today's session at 6 o'clock. But as you can see, this move's pretty much nearly already happened. We've cleared this liquidity, we've tapped into this block, and we're starting to move back up to the upside. So our trade did run for a 1 to 23. Obviously, we would have removed 8% off at 5, a 1 to 5, and maybe taken some more partials on the way down. But because we had this big aggressive move, we would have probably just partialed out or even closed another 10% here, or maybe left 10% to clear this liquidity. But to be honest with you, we're so close to this liquidity in this zone, I would have probably closed out here. But again, that was at 8 o'clock last night, so it would have been 4 hours over the end of my session time anyway. Anyway, that's the end of today's video. If you have any questions, or please get in touch, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.